Welcome back to the Delaware Way. I'm Larry Menti. We do a lot of stories about Delaware's economy and how it's been ailing as of late. The only solution seems to be bringing jobs into the state. I would like to introduce you to a man who's doing just that. Reed Huber is Incyte's Chief Scientific Officer. Sir, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Pleasure to be here.
What kind of company is Incyte?
Incyte is a basic science research company. We were established in the state of Delaware in 2002, and over these past 15 years have grown to just over 1,000 employees globally and have 2 marketed products now, both in the areas of cancer, particularly blood cancer. And in these high-end medical needs, Incyte is thriving right now and is a growing Delaware company.
You said, when I asked you what you do, you said a basic science research company. I understood it as a pharmaceutical company. Is that not right?
It is true. We do have 2 products on the market, like I said, and those are both small molecules, so we think of those as being typical of the pharmaceutical industry. Incyte's a little bit different than most because these molecules are all discovered in our own labs. The laboratories we have here in Delaware and the 300 or so biologists and chemists, they work on all the mechanisms of disease that we study, and virtually all of our pipeline, which is now 17 products in oncology and autoimmune disease, are all discovered in these labs here in Delaware.
So it's fascinating. The people that work in those labs are actually miracle workers. I mean, they make life better for people who have cancer, and I don't think that most of us realize that this is happening in our own backyard, and because of your success, you're expanding.
You're exactly right. So I think we often see these big waves of cancer therapy and innovation, and we're in the midst of one now as we target the patient's own immune system to fight their cancer for them.
And because of some of the work you're doing now, there's more jobs coming?
That's exactly right. So we're in a growth phase. Incyte started with about 15 of us in 2002, leaving the former DuPont Pharmaceuticals to start up Incyte Research Labs. And over that time, we've seen an incredible growth in our pipeline. And so we have sort of an organic growth plan around that. As our programs mature, as our phase 3 trials mature, as we have the chance to bring forward new medicines for unmet needs, we grow in a commensurate way around that. And so I think over these past 3 or 4 years, we've probably added somewhere on the order of 300, 400, 500 jobs recently. These are high quality, often PhD level biologists and chemists, MDs in oncology, and other specialists and professionals in regulatory sciences and manufacturing.
I'm fascinated that you said that you came from DuPont, because we had someone in a moment ago when we were talking about DuPont and some of the jobs leaving. He said, no, that creates an opportunity. You don't see it as an opportunity, but it is an opportunity, because when this has happened in other states, it creates this pool of talent that all have these ideas, and businesses spring from that. That's not exactly what happened with you, but you can see that happening in the state?
Absolutely, and I think it's a very similar story to how Incyte started on the heels of the DuPont Pharma acquisition by Bristol Myers Squibb. When these sort of major corporate movements happen, on one hand, they can be a negative for jobs, certainly, but they sort of spread seeds into the wind of high quality scientists and those that are entrepreneurial with a fertile ground of financing and lab space around. Delaware, I think, as a city or as a state, and Wilmington as a city can capture those seeds, and you can have new industries and businesses flourishing.
Joe Biden says he's going to continue this moonshot to try to cure cancer in our time, and Delaware is going to be part of that. And as a matter of fact, along with the University of Pennsylvania, the center of that moonshot. Are you involved in that?
Not directly, although we'll certainly play whatever role Vice President Biden would like to see us play. We are active across solid tumor indications and liquid tumor indications. Certainly we're in his backyard and are well aware of him and know him well, and wish him the best with that effort. And I think more globally, the problem with cancer is a significant one.
Well, sir, thank you so much for coming in here. Thank you for what you do, and please thank the people that are doing the research. They're doing important work. Incyte is the name of the company. Reed Huber is Incyte's Chief Scientific Officer. That's the Delaware Way for this week. Go to www.kjwp2.com to replay segments from this show or previous shows, and leave your comments about what you've seen today on our Facebook page, or you can reach out to me on Twitter at The Delaware Way or at Larry Menti. We may read your thoughts on a future show. I'm Larry Menti. That wraps up The Delaware Way. See you again next week.